your host, Beth Ann.
And I welcome you today to CSC Talk Radio. It is my honor, my privilege, and my pleasure to be here with you today. Now, you hear the ads. We hear the ads, and we watch them on TV, but the best advertising of all is the satisfied customers who know what it is to have a good night's sleep. I promised you that we would have Mike Lindell, the owner, inventor, designer of MyPillow, on the air. And while we want to push the pillow, I want to know more about the maker. I want to know more about the man who chooses to keep MyPillow locally manufactured and made in the USA. There are plenty of struggles with new businesses. I feel that pain every day. But to produce a product and keep it local, to take care of your own, right here in the USA, it's an amazing undertaking. And I'm so proud of those men, women, and companies that fulfill that goal. There are sacrifices in that, for sure. Mike Lindell is our guest this morning. I read your bio, Mike. You've had quite a life. You know, sometimes...
Oh, thank you.
It's a good life. It is a good life. But you've overcome some challenges and some obstacles. I mean, you admit in your bio that you had addictions and that you conquered those, I think you said back in the year 2009. And you had a marriage and divorce and another marriage. And you said that you've got your children involved in your business. And, you know, it's so important that you can overcome those obstacles. Pick up the pieces and keep on going with what they say, making lemonade out of the lemons that we get in our lives. Add a little sugar and a little sweet success, and that's the American dream. I welcome you today to CSC Talk Radio. How are you doing today?
Real good. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, more than happy to have you on. You sound like you're traveling.
Yeah, I'm going to be, I'm heading to, I make my own studio. We're picking some guys up from Nashville. We're going to make our own studio. We do all our own commercials and stuff. So it's pretty exciting today. We're going to be, I'm going to hopefully get a talk show on TV and,
oh, that'd be fantastic. Yeah.
I could really tell my story then from a crack addict to where I'm at today. I can really get the story out there.
Well, you can get that story out today because, you know, that's an amazing story in and of itself, even without the success of MyPillow, to overcome an addiction like that, because it's difficult, you know, and I know you know, but I've seen people who have done that, and I've seen people who have struggled all their lives, whether it's with something harsh like cocaine or just alcohol. I've got family members that have had problems with alcohol. It's something that grabs a hold of you and you just doesn't let go. And so that in and of itself is a great accomplishment, and kudos to you, my friend.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I think people addictions go back to childhood. Usually mine was a divorce back in my parents' divorce when I was 7, and I was actually very shy. Got into a new school, and I wouldn't talk to anyone hardly back then. It's you had this fear of rejection, so if you don't talk to people, you can't get rejected. And then I got into cocaine in the 80s, and then crack cocaine in the early 2000s. And if you would have told me I would be speaking without any drugs, I would have said there isn't a chance. Even when I did, by the grace of God, I quit all my addictions January 16, 2009. And when we did, and there was a lot of betrayal. I had my company taken. When I first invented MyPillow, I was turned down everywhere. And I ended up doing home shows and fairs throughout the country. County fairs and home shows, but I learned a lot from the people, but I had a lot of employees try to take my company that I would hire. I went to outside money once because I've never used a bank, and I didn't have any money, and they tried to take the company. I mean, it was just it's amazing that we got through those times. But then in 2011, we decided to make our own infomercial. My friends, family, we put our money together, and I said, if nobody will take us, let's just bring it right to the people. And we went to film this infomercial. I wanted to make it real with just a real audience and a friend of mine. And the producer that night that had flew in that actually knew how to make infomercials, he texted the other guy when we were doing our reads, he said, this guy's the worst I've ever seen. He's never going to make it on TV. And he was And I'll tell you, the next day in filming, my first line, it took like 9 takes because it's something I would not normally say. It was scripted, and that's not what I wanted anyway.
Yeah, it's got to be you. Yeah.
Right. So we threw away the teleprompters. We just took them out and did it naturally. And I went from, when that aired October 7th, 2011, we went from 5 employees to 540 days.
Wow.
And it just exploded. And we were the number 1 infomercial in the world by December 26th, I believe, in 2011. And then what I realized was, people wanted to see what was truthful and real. And it's been amazing since then. Now I have 1,600 employees. And right outside of my office where I just left, and it's amazing. I've never in my hometown hiring everybody that I grew up with, and we create careers, not just jobs.
That is absolutely amazing, and that's what American Dream is all about. Plus keeping it in your community. I quit watching Shark Tank. Somebody said, "Oh, you should watch that." I said, I got mad at them and I quit watching them. There was a young man that had invented, and I can't remember now what it was, but it was an apparatus for your pickups, and he wanted to do it locally, and they told him he was nuts. He had to get the stuff from foreign, and he didn't do it. He went ahead and stayed with his with what he wanted to do, and I just quit watching Shark Tank because I thought they're not loyal to America, and I want loyalty to. Of course, that's why I'm broke. I guess I want loyalty to America, So.
Well, there's a lot of if you're entrepreneurs out there, I'm going to have a platform that's actually going to help so many entrepreneurs. But I want to tell people, I was in the White House last summer when the president invited me to a manufacturers summit, and I got in there and I said, "Who's sitting here?" He goes, "The president is. He wanted to sit by you." Well, what we talked about that day, they went around and talked about Made in the USA, and I brought up the fact that, it's making stuff overseas isn't all it's cracked up to be. If you're an entrepreneur and you order something overseas, number one, you got your money up front tied up for 120 days when that product's on the water. And now what if your footprint changes? What if you need more product or less product? Then people end up air shipping it in. It's a nightmare. That's built for these big companies that copy American products, and then they have the money to tie this up and stuff, and I would never ever with MyPillow. There's just no way I would have done it. And another thing too, when you get it, you get products from overseas. You're going, now if there's something wrong with it, it's too bad. I mean, what are you going to do? Sure, they might take it back and give you credit, but now you have your customers waiting for product. So I could say so many things where it's not worth it, even if you did save $1. It's like tripping over $1 to pick up a quarter. I've never believed in it.
Well, I know a company that did that, and I know the guys, and they're just great men. They really are, and they could not get it. They do electronical stuff, and they couldn't get it here, and so they had to get it in China, and they made lots of trips to China, and they said so many times they get it, and it's not right. They have to remake it anyway, and and it is a frustrating thing. So when Shark Tank did that, I'm probably going to get in trouble, but I just said, I'm done with them. I'm just done with them because it may have been a fun, interesting show, and everybody wishes they could get $1 million or whatever to start their company. But that young man wanted to keep it right there in his community, and they shot him down.
Right. Well, it is tough, and if you're an entrepreneur out there, that's why the shows and fairs are a great way to start and a great way to get going. People ask me all the time, it's too bad in this country. You've got like Amazon. You get your product up there, and they copy it right away.
Listening to CSC Talk Radio. This is Beth Ann. We have Mike Lindell on today. He is the owner creator. They call you a marketing genius for MyPillow, and I said we had a MyPillow commercial, and it's in my next segment, so I kind of messed up there. Mike, I have to tell you a little funny. Before we continue on with this. My producer, he's a young man, and I told him that you were coming on. I told him this a week ago. He said, "So are we going to have pillow talk?" I said, "Yeah, I guess that's what we're going to do." So we decided during the commercial break that's what you should name your TV show, Pillow Talk.
Well, that's a good idea, but I'm going to actually, MyPillow's just a platform for things a lot bigger, like my evangelistic platform with God, all things are possible.
Amen.
So I'm actually trying to rebrand myself as that, And, I was given this amazing platform by God, and I just like giving back. I'm helping so many people with this new thing I'm going to have with recovery, with addictions, where you're going to be able to put in your addiction and how old you are, and all these stories of hope are going to come down. So I have a lot of great things going on, and that are going to help the country and help the people.
I raised just a little something about me, not that you need to know about me or anything, but I raised 5 sons, and I have 3 of them that are in the ministry, and I'm sure that they would love to hear your story. Absolutely love to hear your story. So, all things are possible with God. And
I spoke with. It was amazing. When I told you I'd never think I'd be a speaker, we did an event at U.S. Bank Stadium where the Super Bowl was in my home state of Minnesota, and I had to speak and tell my story and lead people in prayer for over 50,000 people. That was just amazing. Most of them were millennials.
Oh, yeah.
And now we're doing another event in Dallas with 300,000 millennials. It's called a Pulse event, and but it's just that's where it was just amazing, and I never thought I'd be, praying with that many people.
Well, that's a great brand to have. All things are to bring us closer to our God. Everything that we go through in our life is supposed to bring us closer to Him. And even those down times, if you didn't have those, where would you be now? If you didn't have that addiction to overcome, where would you be right now? Now, that's not promoting addictions because it's not for everyone, but I'm just saying He is always there. He never leaves us. I had a song that I sing. It was actually done by the Tabernacle Choir in New York, in Brooklyn, and it's called I can't remember the name of it. But what it's talking about is that when you are down, He is right there. He has never left you. Okay, that's enough of that. We're going to quit preaching. We're going to go on to we're going to go on to MyPillow. But I'm very excited about your new adventure there, and that'll be a glorious thing. It'll be a wonderful thing. Mm-hmm. Very excited about that. So
thank you.
Yeah, well, let's push the MyPillow a little bit. We've pushed the community thing. I really am excited the fact that you keep that in your community, and wow, 1,600 people employed. That is amazing.
We've sold 43 million pillows now. And the amazing thing is we've sold 43 million, but only to 8 million people. So that means that everybody's buying more than one because they're telling their friends, their family. And, it was strange that back when I invented MyPillow, everybody, I thought I was the only one where pillows would go flat. I'd use my arm and have these sleep interruptions and tried every pillow out there and had this big pillow pile going on. And then I went to invent it. Everyone was laughing at me. Mike's trying to get a patent on a pillow. And the other one said, wow, if you come up with something that works. And what I wanted was something you could adjust for your own, to keep, whether your backside stomach, you could adjust it and it would hold there and it wouldn't go flat. And then I covered all the other things, everything you'd ever want in a pillow, to wash and dry, 10-year warranty, 60-day money-back guarantee, 100% made in the USA. Those are just bonuses I tell people that if it didn't work, those wouldn't even matter. Oh,
and those are wonderful characteristics because, like I said, I raised 5 children, and when they had those nights where they got sick, you just had to literally throw the pillow away. So I bought little cheap things. It didn't matter with the kids, I just bought little cheap pillows, but to be able to wash it and dry it and keep it fluffed up and keep it clean is amazing. And that is a wonderful attribute as far as family goes, for sure.
Right. And I just got, I did get that patent back in 2005 and 6. And now we got our sleep study just got completed. And I did almost 2-year sleep study. All these things that my customers been saying for a long time, were found out to be true. I mean, so many of sleep interruptions. I don't know. It was over 90% of the people had less sleep interruptions. I mean, these stats are all going to come out in magazines and newspapers from around the country. You're going to see that big press release in a couple of weeks. But it was very amazing that all these things that MyPillow. I'm hoping to get it deemed a medical device someday. That'll be amazing.
That would be amazing. Well, it should be in every hospital. All the hospitals should have a MyPillow. And
the hospitals have pillows, the same ones that jails have. I've been in both, so I do know that. It's just terrible. They both do these rubber pillows that don't work, and
they're terrible. They're awful.
It's a shame. It's a shame.
Yeah. Well, my first MyPillow, I just got, no, that's not true. I got my first MyPillow in December because I have had a neck injury in the past, and I've always fought with pillows. And, it may be okay for a little while, and then I just can't stand it, and I throw it across the room, and I have to go find another pillow. But I had a gift given to me in February that I broke my elbow in February, and I was having a really good time one evening. No, I wasn't drunk. I don't drink heavily. But I fell down and broke my elbow, and my brother came over to see me, and he brought me this little gift, and it was the travel MyPillow, so I could prop my little sore elbow up on it. I still have it in the bed with me because I still prop my elbow up with that pillow, and I take it everywhere with me, everywhere. That pillow.
That travel pillow. That roll and go travel pillow we have that's what I use. I use that more than my cell phone. I think I take it with me wherever I go. I put it on top of the hotel pillows. I use it at home. So I don't want to run and get my other pillow. I use it on the couch. I mean, it's everything that I invent. I use it. It's got to have a purpose, a useful purpose for people to help them in some way. And that's why MyPillow is so successful.
Everything is supposed to be used.
We view every customer like it's our only customer, and that's another part I think that goes with any business out there is, taking care of the customers. I mean, if I remember back in the day, I had one customer. I remember so many stories from back then, but I drove about 300 miles one night because this kid wasn't going to get his birthday pillow for the next day, and it didn't come. The shipping didn't get there, and so I hand delivered it because all I could think about was him not getting that. And if the companies viewed every customer like it's their only customer, they'd be a lot better off. Because MyPillow, I mean, that's what we're all about.
Oh, that's absolutely wonderful. And people know that. People know when you're genuine. They know when you're real, and they know when you're trying to pull a fast one on them. And I sense that MyPillow is genuine. And talking to you makes, your commercials, the one I really like is where the couple can't sleep at night and you're on the other side of the thing. And I love it when the woman comes in and goes, "Oh, you're the MyPillow guy,"
We have so much fun making those commercials.
I bet you do.
We think them up. We do them all ourselves and think them up, and it's And that one there, a lot of that is just ad-lib. When I'm over there, I go, I'm not going to hold this all night. And I said, I knew you would, and all these things. And,
and it rhymed. I mean, it just was wonderful. It was perfect.
We just make them natural. We just make them natural, and the people like what's real. Those are real, and so it's a lot of fun making them, too.
Well, Mike, I know we have to let you go here shortly, but let's have you back on, and let's talk about your new branding. Let's get into the deep stuff, of what really came to be with MyPillow, because, that I remember the name of the song that I like to sing. It's called He's Been Faithful. But there's another one, where it talks about all roads led me to Him. Every road we travel, I'm going to get all teared up. Every road we travel leads us to our God. If we will just look up. If we will just look up, He is right there.
I always like my favorite now that I'm out of addiction is Proverbs 3:5-6, which is trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not onto your own understanding.
Amen.
In all ways acknowledge Him, and He will guide your paths.
Amen.
And that's
Amen and amen. Well, good luck, and please come back. I'll talk to you now, and we'll get you back on and talk about the new show that's coming up and the new branding that really is the foundation, truly, of MyPillow. Thank you, Mike. You have a great day. Be safe out there. I know you're traveling.